Hello everyone. Today I will discuss about structural modeling in Verilog. I have already discussed about the basics of structural modeling technique in my gate level modeling tutorial. So today I will explain in details and you will be learning how a Verilog code is written for structural modeling and how a bigger circuit can be designed using this modeling technique. So structural modeling is nothing but designing a bigger circuit or designing your logic using small modules or small blocks or building blocks. And what are those blocks or the small modules that we can use? It can be an AND gate, OR gate, MUX, adder, flip-flop, register, or encoder, decoder. It can be anything. It can be any piece of hardware. Okay, so what we are doing, we are just utilizing a already predefined or pre-designed modules, or it may be designed by yourself or it is designed by someone else. Then we are utilizing those modules and we are doing the interconnection between them and we are designing our logic. This is how a structural modeling works. Okay, so this structural model is a module that instantiates other module and also Verilog primitives. So we can use also Verilog primitives. So in Verilog primitives are nothing but the already predefined module that is included inside the Verilog library, and these are the basic gates like AND gate or NAND gate, NOR gates. So these are the basic gates, and we say them primitives, and we can use those primitives or we can use this low level building blocks like all these piece of hardware, and then we can model our this structural modeling. These modules, see, these small modules that I have included here are the piece of hardware that infers a piece of hardware. Okay, but these modules can be anything. This module can be an inverter, MUX, adder, decoder, or any basic logic gates. Okay, so we are using all these small modules. We are making the interconnection. Then we are building a bigger circuit. And this is how the structural modeling works. See, for example, here I have taken an example, design a 4-bit ripple carry adder using structural modeling. So this is my circuit for 4-bit ripple carry adder. So what I have included here is, see, this is my this dot part you can see here, all this dot part. So this is my 4-bit ripple carry adder. So I have input as C in, then A0 B0, A1 B1, A2 B2, A3 B3, C out, sum 3, sum 2, sum 1, sum 0. So this is the input and output port for this 4-bit ripple carry adder. And the inside part is, as I have already said, that we are utilizing a small modules or building blocks to design a bigger circuit. So what is that small module here? It is a full adder. So I have 4 full adder. So I am utilizing 4 full adder which has got input A, B and C in, C out and sum. So all these modules are, this is replication of a single module. So this is one module, second module, third module and fourth module. So I am using here four single bit adder. So these are all adder, full adder. So I am using here 4 full adder and I am designing a 4-bit ripple carry adder. Okay, and so what are the inputs here? A0 B0, A1 B1, A2 B2, A3 B3. Then input is C in, output is C out, and again output is sum 0, sum 1, sum 2 and sum 3. You can see here, see the outside of the block. So these are all inputs. This is also input, this part is also input, and this part is my output, and this is also output. Okay, This is how you have to model first. So you have to find out what are those input and output ports for your design. Then you have to write it. So this is how I have written. And how you can model this one, I can write like module, then 4-bit adder structural, then my input are A0, so I have taken this vector A0, A1, A2, A3, B0, B1, B2, B3, then input C in also I have got input, then output is sum 0, sum 1, sum 2, sum 3, then output is C out. Okay, then why I have taken this OR C1, C2 and C3, you can see here, see this part is C1, this part is C2 and this part is C3. Okay, so I have because OR is nothing but a piece of wire to connect two modules, right, or to connect to design or two blocks we can say. So this is like a physical wire. So from this module to this module I am doing the interconnection using this wire C1. This module to this module I have taken C2, and this module to this module I have taken C3. So I have declared here wire C1, C2 and C3. Then what we need, then I have used here a full adder. So 4 times I have to use a full adder. So I don't need to write code for full adder 4 times. I can write a code for this full adder only single times, and I can reuse that one. So what is the input and output for this full adder? One is A, another is B, then C in is the input, sum is the output, carry out is the output. So this is the module for this is the block diagram for your full adder. So 2 inputs, here you can see 2 inputs, then C in is 1 input, then I have taken sum as output and carry out as output. Here you can see this part. So this part 4 times I can use this module. So I have to use this module 4 times, because see here you can see the same module has been used for 4 times. So I have to use this module, this full adder module 4 times in my design. You can see here this Verilog code for full adder. So this is A, B, C. Inputs are A, B, C in, and output is sum and C out. So input is A and B, then C in, output is sum and C out. This is 1 bit. This is 1 bit full adder. So input also 1 bit and output also 1 bit. You can say full adder. So this is the behavioral model. I have written the behavioral modeling. Okay, here. So this is the logic. Sum equal to A XOR B XOR C in, and this carry out equal to A XOR B into C in plus AB. Okay. So this is A XOR B XOR C. This is my sum, and carry equal to A XOR B into C in plus AB. This is the logic for this full adder, to implement full adder. Okay. So the next part is writing code for the structural modeling. In the structural modeling, so what are the inputs we got? A0 to A3, B0 to B3. Then we got C in, we had C in. Then output was sum 0 to sum 3. Output was C out. Then OR I had taken for interconnection between the modules, between the blocks. I had 4 blocks. See, you can see here I have the 4 blocks. So I have taken 3 OR. So this is so I have to use 4 times the adder. This adder I have to use, this part I have to use, this code I have to use 4 times. So this is called instantiation of a module. So I have instantiated 4 times the full bit adder. Okay, this is, see the names are same. So I have written code for this one. I have written code for this full adder only 1 times, but I am instantiating that code 4 times, and this is the module name. Okay, and this is, I have instantiated this one. So I am using 4 full adder, and each is 1 bit input and output, and I have instantiated this one by port order. For example, if I write A0, B0, C in, sum 0, C1, it means this port order means the first one is C. First one is input A, B, C. So here I have taken input A, B, C. Then the next part is sum and carry. So I have taken the sum and carry. So this order should be matched. This order, this A, B, C in, sum, C out, the first three are input, the next two are output. So in this way I have to take, else it won't work. Okay, if I have to instantiate this one by order, port order, then I have to first see how I have written my input and output, the order of the input and output, A, B, C in. So I have to take A, B, C in, A, B, C in. Then I have written here sum carry. Then I have to write here sum carry. And all these are not from these modules. This module, okay. This port is from this module. Every time you have to write this port has to be from this module, not from this module. Okay. So 4 times I have written like this. I have taken this one. So I am instantiating, or I am using this full adder 4 times here. 4 times full adder, then full adder. So 4 times I am using this full adder part. And you can see the last part is C out. And in the diagram also you can see the last part is C out, right? So here also you can see the last part is C out. Okay. So this way you have to code your structural modeling. So inputs are A0, B0, then C in, sum 0, C1. You can, 1 minute, you can see like this. The inputs are first full adder A0, B0, then input is C in, then sum 0 and C1. For next one A1, B1, input is C1, sum 1, C2. You can check here, okay. A1, B1, C1, sum 1, C2. So next part is A2, B2, C2, sum 2, C3. This is how it works. A2, B2, C2, C3, sum 2. The way you have designed your, or you have drawn your circuit, the same way you have to code it. Okay. So this is how it works. The last part is C out, sum 3, C3, B3, A3. Okay. The next is to check the functionality of your design. I have written here a test bench for this one. And you can write the same code if you have simulator like ModelSim or Xilinx, and you can check or you can verify your logic that you have written, the structural modeling. Okay. And 100% it will work. And I have given here A0, B0 and C. So I have taken some of the inputs, or means I have given some of the inputs, and I am checking here the output, sum and carry. What are the sum and carry I am getting? Okay. This is how the structural modeling works. Then again I have taken another example, and this is the block diagram for a T flip-flop. Okay. If you remember, then this is the block diagram for T flip-flop. See, this is my T flip-flop. Not this inside part, means this is how I have to model this part. This is the block diagram for T flip-flop. So what are the inputs? Inputs are clock, reset, and what is the output for this block? Q out. So input you have to take clock, then reset, then output you have to take key out. The inside part, what is the module that we are utilizing or we are using is a D flip-flop and a NOT gate. Okay. So you have to instantiate a D flip-flop module, or you have to write a code for D flip-flop module and a NOT gate. And your inputs are clock and reset, and output is Q out. And I have taken D in here, and this D in is nothing but a OIR, because this is you have to take as OIR, because this is connecting, this is the connection between this NOT gate output and this flip-flop input. So I have taken this one OIR. So first I have written the code for D flip-flop. Okay. So this is the logic for D flip-flop. And D flip-flop has D input, clock input, reset input, and Q output. You can see here for D flip-flop, D is the input, clock is the input, Q is the output, and reset is the input. Okay. So I have taken the same thing, D input, clock input, reset input, and Q output. So this is the logic for this one, D flip-flop. So the next part is you have to write the structural code for T flip-flop. So you remember the structural code. For the structural code, the input has to be Q reset and output has to be Q out. So see here, input is clock and reset and output is Q out. Input is clock and reset and our output is Q out. So input is clock and reset and output is Q out, and OR is D in. Already I said here this OR is the D in. Okay, OR is D in. Then you have to instantiate the module. During this full adder, we are instantiating the module by port order. But here we are not doing like this. Okay, so this is I have to use, because I have inside the structural modeling the D flip-flop, I have D flip-flop and I have the NOT gate. So the D flip-flop I have to instantiate, so I have to use that hardware D flip-flop. So what I have to do, D flip-flop, then a name, it can be any name. Then what I have written here, this Q out has to be from this circuit, this module. The Q out has to be from this module, and this Q has to be from this left side part, the dot part. This part has to be from this one, this D flip-flop. Okay, see, D flip-flop Q is there, out Q is there. The Q out is connected, this Q is connected to Q out, this part, this Q out. So whatever is written inside the bracket or this parenthesis has to be from this module and not from the D flip-flop. Inside part, see, clock reset, this reset has to be from this one, this module, the T flip-flop module. This clock has to be from this module, then D in has to be from this module, and that dot part has to be from this module that we are instantiating. So we are instantiating a D flip-flop, that module, so that port has to be from this module only. See, D, clock, reset and Q. So you have to remember this one during the instantiation. Inside the parenthesis you have to write the port from the module for which you are writing the structural code. So this Q out is from here, D in is from here, clock is from here, reset is from here, and this Q, D, clock and reset has to be from the D flip-flop. You cannot change the name. This name has to be there in D flip-flop. This D has to be there in D flip-flop. All this dot part has to be there from D flip-flop, and all this inside parenthesis part has to be it should be from this module. The, you can say the outside part, this outside part. Okay, then there is a NOT gate also. So I have used the primitives here, NOT N1, D in, Q out, and we know that in the primitive the first part is out, then next part is in. So it is like NOT gate, output is D in and input is Q out. You can see here output is D in, the NOT gate output is D in, and the input part is Q out. This is the input part, Q out. So I have taken this one. Output is D in and input is Q out. Output is D in and input is Q out. Okay, and if you do remember this definition, structural model is a module that instantiates other module and Verilog primitives. It means this one. So this primitives also we can instantiate. So I have taken here primitives, and other modules here we have taken here is D flip-flop. So this is the other module that is mentioned in that definition, and primitives is NOT gate I have taken here. Okay, so using both primitives and your own module, we can instantiate in structural modeling, and we can implement any design, or we can implement any logic. This is how the structural modeling works. Okay, the main thing that you have to remember is this instantiating part, how to instantiate this one. So this parenthesis part has to be from the inside module, and that the module that you are instantiating has to be from this dot part, this outside one, this D, this dot, all these modules. Okay, that one you have to remember, and this is how the structural modeling works, and this is how we code for structural modeling. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and you can subscribe this channel also.